Hello and welcome to another reading. We are going to do a short overview of what may happen in the future, how the things may unfold. And you can choose from 3 groups that you can see on the screen, 1, 2, or 3. Of course, you can have some situation in mind, focus on something that maybe is a problem for you, or you can just allow yourself to receive a general message, a general guidance, and just flow through the reading as it comes to you. So choose your group and let's begin. Hello to everyone who chose the group 1, and you chose the I Am Sorry card from the Star Seed Oracle deck. This is the first card that guided you towards deciding for this group. So this is a card of healing and making amends. It may be that you need to admit some mistakes, and this means you need to go into a state of vulnerability, the state of willingness to soften the ego, to open the heart. Or it can also suggest that there are some old wounds or unresolved tensions that are still present in your energy field. You can see the tree and the roots of the tree. This reflects past experiences that are still ingrained in your being and having an influence right now. And we see 2 figures mirroring each other in prayer. So this reflects humility and reflection and meeting another soul with respect, with humility, with reverence. And also it's about taking responsibility and not projecting everything on the outside, blaming outside circumstances or people, which of course is very easy to do. And of course, on the other hand, you need to perhaps accept that someone is sorry, that someone hurt you, and it is you who needs to accept the reverence and some apology. And since we see the roots entwined with faces, these roots can represent past lives or ties to your ancestors, or some deep bonds, some deep relational bonds where you need to find reconciliation. And the roots can also speak about karmic entanglements, and now this is ready to be released. And we see this starry sky above. This is all about forgiving and healing, and it will spread cosmically. It will affect your cosmic perspective, your cosmic future. So if you have been holding some guilt or regret, this card invites you to release it, perhaps apologize. Perhaps you need to apologize to yourself for the choices that you've made and were not supporting you. Many times we commit sins toward ourselves. It may be, of course, that you need to apologize to another, or maybe you just need to apologize and release energetically the past. And on the other hand, if you feel hurt by someone, this card asks you to soften, not necessarily excuse them or excuse the harm, because the harm always needs to be recognized, but you are invited to free yourself from the weight of resentment. And something may be surfacing now. Something may be uprooting you so that you can finally heal something. So something is coming from underground so that you can see it and honor it and clear it. So now we look at the tarot cards. This is the reading. So we have the Emperor card. This is the major arcana card in the tarot, and it's all about power and having control and promoting things, because this is an Aries card. So it's all about taking charge and also having a fresh start in a way, since the Aries begins the zodiac. But of course the Emperor is all about structure and discipline and authority. So this may reflect that in the past you relied on order or planning, or you were guided by some rules, or you had a mentor, a teacher, or perhaps even a parent or a father figure that was guiding you, or that you were allowing them to guide you. Or maybe it was you who had to take charge of your own life and be very determined. So it was a period where you focused on your head, because the Aries sign rules the head. So Emperor is about logic over emotion. It's about establishing control. Also, this card may show that you were receiving some promotion, recognition, that you really proved yourself and you gained some approval. And then we have the Justice card for the present. So in the present you're dealing with, well, justice, which is also a major arcana card in the tarot, and it is about causality. It's about having some kind of rooted cause for the effects that are happening now. Maybe you are the one who is seeking justice, who needs to have something justified, or you need to find some truth and accountability. So whatever choices you made in the past are bearing fruit now. So this is basically the Justice card. And it's also a card of cutting away which doesn't work, repairing things. And for that we need complete honesty. So we need to weigh things and see whether our heart is clear. It's about finding a peace in our heart, some kind of tranquility, that the law and order are restored. And that is not very easy to find sometimes. It sometimes means we have to carry the sword of justice and be very, very sharp and swift with it. Justice can be extremely, extremely harsh. And it may mean that you need to even cut away things or people that don't work in your life anymore, and be very determined in facing them. It goes together with the Emperor. Both cards are extremely, they carry a lot of authority. They have this tone of seriousness. And combined, they may suggest dealing with some authority figures, perhaps literally with the law. And maybe in the past you started some kind of procedure, some kind of legal procedure, or some kind of professional procedure or action that is now bearing fruit. And of course, it may mean, the Justice card, contracts, and that you are now maybe signing a contract or dealing with some professional situation where you are entering into some kind of connection with someone. But as we see from the card that follows, the Ten of Pentacles, you are reaping very good results in this moment. Ten of Pentacles is a beautiful future card. This is about long-term success. It's about abundance. And so for sure in the future your efforts will pay off, and it will bring stability, not just for you, but for everyone around you, for your family or your legacy. And of course you are entering a period of financial stability and also the feeling of belonging. So you are going to connect with your roots, with your family perhaps, or with your traditions. And you are also creating something that will leave a legacy, something that will last beyond you. Because this is a card of many generations, Ten of Pentacles. It's a family card, a family, like a family tree card, and you are finally fitting into a family tree. Perhaps you're being accepted by the family, perhaps you have fought for your position in the family, or in some other structure, some business, maybe any kind of dealings with authority, maybe with your boss, maybe in your job or something. Because all these situations, the job, the structure, any environments where we need to fit in, they all reflect our family situation. If we struggle with belonging to some professional structure or creative structure, it may be because we never belonged or felt truly accepted by our family. So this is now projected onto outside structures. So now you are healing this, and you are dealing with the truth, facing the truth, demanding your truth, and abundance is waiting for you in the future. So now let's take a look at the oracle cards that support this reading. So we have work through your fears, new moon in Scorpio from the Moonology Oracle. And of course this confirms the facing the truth, the painful truth, or facing the shadow that we met in the tarot reading. And this card, the Scorpio card, brings a big emotional intensity, and the new moon always signals new beginnings. But this card says that you will face, you will have this new beginning when you release what no longer serves you. And Scorpio pushes us to go very deep, to the unseen, to what is buried, to the unconscious patterns, to past wounds, or even doubts and fears. And it is a call to be strong, emotionally strong, and facing what you fear. So, do you fear rejection? Do you fear judgment? Do you fear loss? And all these fears can be extremely profound. They may feel like your life will end if these situations that you are afraid of come about. But in fact, facing this, you will know that you will survive and that life goes on. In fact, it goes on transformed, offering healing and a new start. And with the tribe card, again, this reflects the Ten of Pentacles. It represents community, belonging to a family, and of course soul connection. So tribes were very important in the past. They were the only way to survive. If you didn't belong to a tribe, you couldn't survive. Individuality was not supported. Nowadays, our individuality is very much emphasized, but we lost connection with the tribe. We feel uprooted. So this brings a lot of fear and insecurity and anxiety for the modern people. But of course, on the other hand, we have the freedom to choose our family. We need to be clear. We have the awareness to see who truly is our tribe. And this card reminds you that you are not alone. You are not meant to walk this journey alone. There are people who will understand you and support you and help you. So this card reminds you to find your people, to find your safe circle. And also it calls you to contribute to the group, to share, to connect with the web of support and share your purpose. So these cards say, don't feel isolated. Don't allow your fears to isolate you. So you're working through your inner shadows, and thus you're becoming more authentic. You are deepening your authentic connections. You're finding your tribe. And this means you need to face your fears of rejection, of abandonment, of vulnerability, so you can really find your soul family that resonates with your truth. What does it mean to face the fears? It means to live them, to truly ask yourself, okay, what's the worst that can happen? Okay, maybe I will be abandoned. Does this mean I will die? Because sometimes it feels like that. Sometimes we feel like, if I am left alone, I will not survive. But is it really true? You are an adult person now. You are an intelligent person, and you need to develop the trust and the connection to life, that life will bring new opportunities, that you are part of a bigger picture, of a cosmic picture. Because our tribe, that is our family in which we begin, into which we are born, reflects the way we see the cosmos. And this vision can be extremely restrictive, extremely small, narrow-minded, and we just carry it to the world. And it's extremely frightening to let it go, because we know nothing else. But now the maturity brings a new vision. It brings a vast vision of cosmos, something deeper in existence that constantly transforms and changes and brings new cycles into your life. So now it is the time for you to trust this cycle and allow yourself to receive new connections and new community. So in the past, maybe you built your life on discipline, order, rationality. This is reflected in the Emperor card, and you relied on this for stability and structure. Maybe these are inherited patterns from literally your father or male line in your life, but this created some kind of rigidity. And the I'm sorry card, this is the first card, the oracle card that you chose, shows that there are some old wounds and regrets and karmic ties rooted in your foundation, and you need to reconcile with your past. Maybe you need to forgive your own father. Maybe you need to forgive some male person in your life, or maybe you need to forgive yourself to have been too rigid and structured. And of course, you also learned how to carry responsibility, how to be in the place of authority, but you also realized that the walls of pride may have created disconnection from others. So now, with the Justice and the new moon in Scorpio, they are kind of connected. This is a very hard justice. It's a tough justice. It is justice that goes with you, that accompanies you to your depths. So you need to see your depths, your insecurity, your fears with a very clear view. You have to be just. You have to be fair towards yourself and toward others. So you need to accept that this is a kind of karmic balancing happening. So the past actions now influence the present. Your past fears, shame, guilt, any kind of resentments are now being cleared, but for that you need to face the fear of failure and vulnerability. So with courage to see, you are transforming yourself. And when you face these shadows and when you release your fears and your old ways of being, you are entering into a phase of abundance and belonging and long-term success. This is not just something that is fleeting, that is going to pass. You're going to be happy and then you will fall down again. No, you're building something lasting, an emotional and spiritual legacy. Maybe you are also starting your own family, and it's very important to recognize the past issues that you are dragging into your present situation, facing these issues, which are fear of abandonment, jealousies, comparisons with others, insecurities, resentments. You need to face them clearly, justly, fairly, and then you are going to start a completely new karmic cycle as with regard to the family. You are going to start a new family, meet a new family, a supportive community. And this also affects other people in your life. You are going to share your gifts to a larger collective. So, I wish you good luck. I wish you a lot of courage. And I hope this resonated. And see you next time. Bye-bye. So, a warm welcome to those who chose Group 2. You chose the Inner Earth card from the Starseed Oracle. So the message of this card is hope and renewal. It brings a kind of reassurance, saying you'll survive this. New solutions and beginnings. So this suggests that you are facing challenges now, but this is not the end. It's just a threshold to a new path. So you're entering a cave and things are dark and confined and uncertain, but then deep inside you find this living world with light and possibility. So this is where, in fact, this dark situation, this cave, is leading to. So with this cave opening into light, you're moving from darkness or confusion into clarity and safety and vision. So even if you feel like that you're underground, that you're buried, there is an opening ahead. And you can see a lot of greenery and blue waters. This is all about healing and fertility and emotional renewal. So, and also we see a kind of glowing light, like a settlement. So this tells us that there is a place where you will feel safe and where you will belong. And so you are not lost, you are just in transition. So for the tarot reading, we have the Fool for the past. This is all about new experiences and of unlimited potential. So this speaks of a leap of faith. The Fool is all about new beginnings, fresh energy, and going into the unknown, which coincides with now feeling lost in the cave. So maybe you have embraced some adventure and started going somewhere, and now you're lost. So the initial excitement and spontaneity and openness maybe also a certain kind of naivety led you to feel stuck in this moment. Yet this feeling of this unlimited potential still remains, and you need to go back to it. Remember, refresh this feeling of the seed of the new adventure. This will help you find your hope and find your way right now where you are in the cave. So the Fool started the journey, and in the Kabbalistic tradition, with the Kabbalistic association, the Fool card represents the Hebrew letter Aleph. So the Fool as Aleph is the first letter, and in fact this letter is silent in Hebrew and represents the breath, so the first beginning. And in Kabbalistic thought, Aleph is like a channel between the infinite, Ein Sof, and the manifest. So it's a kind of a paradox. It's like nothingness and everything at once. And the Fool represents the same mystery. It's a potential before form. It's the energy of creation. Because we all know how God created the world. In Christian Judaic tradition, He spoke. So the spoken word needs what? The word needs breath. So before we start to speak, we need to take a breath, fill our lungs to be able to support the sound. So this is the Fool, this is the Aleph letter. It's the breath before speaking. Also, Aleph is associated with air, ruach, with the breath that animates existence. So we are animated by breath and spirit. This is the association with our soul. Our soul was in the history, in the philosophy, in the spiritual traditions, oftentimes associated with breathing. So even like when we die, the breath leaves the body, we stop breathing. So the Fool card is about this spirit who is full of life and breath and very animated. It's a potential for anything. The whole existence is included. But there is a paradox, because Aleph is a silent letter, yet foundational letter. So the Fool is empty and it carries the number 0, yet it contains the whole journey within. And in the Tree of Life, Aleph connects the crown, the first Sephira, with the movement of divine energy into thought. So, not to sound too philosophical, it simply means that the Fool represents the soul's descent into experience. It's a kind of state before separation. It's a beginning which is not manifested yet. So this means that it can represent great ideas, it can present a feeling. Astrologically, it's connected with the Uranus planet, which is also a planet associated with unknown breaking through, with the sky opening and bringing new ideas. So it seems that you have encountered such ideas or such inspiration in the past. So in the present position we have 5 of Pentacles. It's about isolation and shame and dilemmas. So, well, this is the cave where your great inspiration and your full energy, full of life and full of potential, got lost. So now maybe you feel worried, isolated, maybe you have a sense of lack. Five of Pentacles is oftentimes an emotional hardship or financial hardship, or just a feeling of being left out in the cold. But notice the lighted window in the card. This shows that help and support are near, and sometimes it's pride or fear or shame that keep us from reaching out and accepting the help. So there is a difficult situation that you're facing now, but look for resources and allies. You are not alone and help is on the way. And then for the future, we have Page of Pentacles with manifestation, with opportunities and development of competences and skills. So the Page of Pentacles is a very hopeful card. It shows a grounded future. It's all about new opportunities, especially financial or career related. It shows learning and growth and the beginning of material stability. So now what is very difficult can become a very fertile ground for skill building, because the page is a student. So this is a very practical energy and he's willing to learn. So this is about steady success. And you have a chance to create something very sustainable. So if we take the Fool as Aleph, as the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet in your past position, this means that your journey began in the void of pure potential. You took a step in innocence. Maybe you were even foolish. Fool can be about foolishness, and many times we cannot discern between being foolish and being innovative. Oftentimes they're completely related. So the spirit took the first breath and it fell into a dark cave. It descended into the material plane and encountered limitation, lack, and duality. This is, in fact, our spiritual journey as human beings. We are this potential, this light, the breath of life that encounters material hardships, especially being separated, isolated, being in this world which is full of contradictions and full of duality. This is what we need to pass through to grow, to become wiser. And with the Page of Pentacles, it shows that you are learning how to transform this potential into a skill. So if we continue with the Kabbalistic interpretation, the number 5, so the 5 of Pentacles, is connected to the Gevura Sephir with the severity. This is Sephira of severity, strength and discipline. So the number 5 on the Tree of Life, it corresponds to restriction, contraction, judgment. This is the part of God that judges us, that's testing us, that is testing us through fire and cuts away all illusion. This Gevura, this Sephira Gevura, is ruled by Mars, the energy of struggle, of courage. And this is not about being cruel. This is not about life or God or higher self or whatever you want to call it. This is not about them being cruel towards us, but it's about necessity that brings clarity and purification and discipline. Because we start to expand as a light, but without discipline, this expansion would just spill into chaos. So the 5 of Pentacles is Gevura, the severity, in Malkut. Malkut means the material plane. Malkut, in fact, means the kingdom. This is the material world, the physical manifestation, the body, money, earth. This all relates to the pentacle energy. So the 5 of Pentacles is Gevura, Sephira number 5, connected with the Malkut, the kingdom of material world. So if we combine these two together, we have severity in material. So material limitation, lack, struggles, financial struggles, health struggles, survival challenges. And we also feel exiled, like feeling cut from belonging to the divine flow. So that's why we see in the image these two figures in poor health and walking alongside the church. So the church in this image represents the feeling of a family, of belonging, of being accepted into the community. And all the fives in the tarot represent being exiled from the community or from something bigger than us. We are in the number 5, we always feel rejected or alone or like struggling on our own and other people not accepting us. Also, us not accepting other people. It works in both ways. So this is a big trial. 5 of Pentacles, number 5, is a big life trial. So you're being stripped of false security so that you can learn resilience. And then, of course, in the card we have the church and the window is glowing, and this shows the light of the 6th Sephira, Tiferet, the beauty, which is shining down into Malkut. So even though we have this severity in Gevura, we already see the light of the next Sephira, which is the number 6. It's in the heart center. They call it even the Christ Sephira. Well, that it's in the Western Kabbalah, of course, which combines all elements. It's not strictly Hebrew Kabbalah. But in the Western Kabbalah, all kinds of influences are combined together: Christian, Greek, philosophical, artistic. So it's very flexible when we come to the Western Kabbalah. Yeah. So in number 6, which of course is the number that follows number 5, restores the harmony and brings beauty. So this number 5, the Gevura, doesn't really abandon us. It only tests us and awakens us to this light. And then we transform in this reading. The next step is the Page of Pentacles, the apprentice, the beginner, the student, which is learning how to manifest and ground dreams into reality. And so we are going from the 5 of Pentacles to the first spark of new growth, which can mean in your situation that you will encounter maybe new opportunities, some study, perhaps you will embark on a new journey of learning, of a new project that you will take on. Maybe you are also curious about things, but in any case, from this hardship of the Gevura of number 5, you are moving to the being student of life. And the pages on the Tree of Life, they're also sometimes called princesses in the Golden Dawn tradition. So the pages are very much linked to the Malkut, the kingdom, the material realm, and they represent a field, a fertile field. So the lessons of the higher spheres can finally take root in matter. But the page looks upward. If you see, he's looking upward toward number 9, the Sephira number 9, which is called Yesod, the foundation. And this is the Sephira of potential, of the subconscious, of the imagination. So the page, all the pages belong to the 10th Sephira, to the Malkut, to the kingdom of the material world, and they are embodying our subconscious, our imagination, our imaginative potential. So they are manifesting our dreams. So the page is not just Malkut, the kingdom, the material world. He's the threshold of Yesod, because he channels inspiration into practice. So Yesod, Sephira number 9, is the foundation for the kingdom of the material world, for the Malkut. And pages are grabbing this energy from the inspirational world and bringing it to life in the material form. So the page is about the path from imagination, dreams, into Malkut, to the physical manifested world. And then we have the 2 oracle cards, which is, the first one is waxing moon. The energy is gaining momentum. And then the fork in the road. So as for the waxing moon, this is about growth and momentum, acceleration. So energy is building and possibilities are expanding and things are moving forward. So again, this is a confirmation that your hardships are transforming into something concrete, into something creative. So you've planted something and now this is gathering force. So things are growing. So this is a kind of an encouragement card. Don't give up. You are getting the results, even if they are not fully visible yet, even if you are in the cave in this moment. And of course, the fork in the road, it's all about choices and crossroads and the need to take responsibility for your direction. It may mean that you need to decide what to do. Maybe you have been frozen by the decisions you have to make, but don't sit on the fence forever. It is time to choose your path. Maybe all the roads are valid, or maybe you have 2 roads that you are deciding between, but all the decision is yours. And we have the llama and an owl on the card. This is about wisdom. And then we have the monkey, play and distraction. So your wisdom and clarity are important, and don't allow yourself to be distracted by the monkey mind, by the playfulness, by the distractions. Stick to your path. So whatever is happening in your life now, it is testing your resilience and decisions. So this rising energy is leading you to a crossroads, and you will need to choose very soon, consciously, where you want your energy to flow. And the point is, don't waste the momentum in indecision, because it really doesn't matter whatever you choose. You are going to choose, and you will come to the place where you need to be. Too often we get lost in indecision, because we think, okay, what if the other road is better for me? Well, if it is, along the way you will find a new crossroad and you will be able to choose your direction. Life is not so linear as we think. It's not so much set in stone. Our higher self, our deeper soul, knows where it wants to take us, what the story is, even if our monkey mind doesn't know. So don't get distracted. Don't be afraid to choose the wrong choice, because you always get a new chance to correct it along the line, along the road. If you suddenly discover this was the wrong choice, trust that a new opportunity will come to reorient. So don't get lost in this labyrinth of indecision and what to do or where to go. Just choose one path, and it is going to lead you into the new earth, into the new opportunity, into the new growth. So the fork in the road, in fact, kind of coincides with the Gevura energy, with the number 5 energy, because it is a kind of constriction. It can be a difficult path. It's not about exile, but it's about responsibility. Which way you are going to choose, this is going to shape and decide how you blossom from your growing momentum. But again, the promise is Even if the choice feels heavy or uncertain, you will survive and thrive. So there are hidden solutions and rebirth waiting for you. So whatever you decide, your decision will lead to a new life, a renewal and fresh beginnings, even if they are not visible yet. So whatever was exile becomes homecoming. Whatever was trial becomes new life. You are entering a phase of rebirth and a deep sense of belonging. Trust the process and be happy about the new developments. I wish you good luck on your journey and see you next time. Bye bye. And welcome for those who chose the group number 3. So you chose the Star Brothers card from the Starseed Oracle. It's about the Horus energy, protection, loyalty, safety, and trust. So this is a card reminding you that you are protected and supported by allies. So maybe soul brothers, higher energies, ancestors, and it ties to the reading. The whole reading is about connecting, as we will see with the Ten of Cups as well. And this card carries the energy of Horus. This is the Egyptian sky god. He was often depicted as a falcon, and he symbolizes guardianship and spiritual protection, also a vision. And what we see are two falcons, so the Horus energy, and they are looking at different directions, one to the past and one to the future. So it says you have a clear sight and perspective, and also protection to your past and to your future. And then we have this figure in the middle who is very centered and calm. So it reflects a safety from within, protected by these two falcons, protected by the clear vision and understanding that he has. And then we see this golden aura and wings, again emphasizing the divinity and loyalty. And then we see the stars around. So this is a cosmic protection. So your soul family is going through many dimensions. It's not just about the earthly family, it's a cosmic family. So you are safe and protected, and even if you feel vulnerable, this card reassures you that there are unseen guardians and they're holding this space for you and protecting you. Also, this card is suggesting that you should be open to connection with the people whom you can trust, the people who are loyal and aligned with your soul. So no need to walk alone. You can rely on your spiritual brothers. And also there is an element of truth coming through. This is the Horus's eye, who sees beyond illusion, and also it shields from harm. So trust in life and trust the divine plan and the bonds in your life for which you feel that are real and supportive. And then we take a look at the tarot cards. So we have Ace of Cups. It's all about spiritual and emotional joy, about divine love, about expansion. So it is in the past positions, and it shows that you experience a new opening of the heart, perhaps a new spiritual or even emotional beginning, perhaps a new relationship, or something that brought joy to your heart. So the Ace is about the gift. It's about divine gift. In this case, the Ace of Cups, it's about love and inspiration and joy. And as we see, this cup is overflowing with possibility. This is the hand coming from the heaven, offering the cup, overflowing with possibilities. And we see these little like splashes of water, which are in fact letters Yod in the Hebrew alphabet, which is the spark of life. So there are little sparks of life flowing from the cup, and of course the water is being flown into another water with lotuses. So a very spiritual moment and an overflowing moment, offering joy and peace, as we can see also from the dove above the cup. And then we have the Chariot card for the present position, which is all about determination and willpower and success. So this is now your moment. You are moving, you're focused, and you're taking control of your path. And you are aligning opposing forces, because we have the black and the white sphinxes, and you are moving toward some kind of a goal. You are determined to go forward. So this is a card about discipline and being clear on your goals and mastering the challenges. It is a card of, let's say, emotional maturity in this world, where we discover that we can direct our world, that we can decide things. So we are growing up with the Chariot. We are taking the reins and we are driving our own vehicle. And we are driving towards the Ten of Cups, which is about the wishes coming true and about abundance and pleasure. So the future promises emotional fulfillment, harmony, and joy. And also, this is also a card of family and community, and also about soul alignment, which reflects the brotherhood, the spiritual brotherhood. So you may be meeting people that you truly feel you belong with, or maybe you are meeting, like, maybe there is a soul connection, a person coming into your life that you met. The Chariot could also indicate a person arriving into your life. It's maybe somebody else coming into your life, and you will be able to create a very satisfying connection with the person, with a lasting happiness and with harmony. So if we take a look at the Kabbalistic correspondences, so the Ace of Cups on the Tree of Life corresponds to the Keter, to the crown Sephira. All aces correspond to Keter, to the first Sephira at the top of the Tree of Life. And Keter is the pure source. This is the infinite potential. So the aces reflect this infinite divine potential. And since we have the Ace of Cups, this is Keter in Bria. Bria is the world of creation associated with water. So since the Ace of Cups corresponds to the element of water, as cups are water, Kabbalistically it corresponds to the world of water, Bria. So this is about flow, divine flow and joy, flowing to lower Sephirot. So this is not a specific water yet. It is a potential of love, potential of emotional fulfillment. But as we can see from the reading, in the end we reach the potential. We go from the Ace to the Ten of Cups. So you are moving into fulfillment of your emotional wishes, and you are moving toward the lasting peace. The Chariot card is a major arcana number 7, and in Kabbalah, Hermetic Kabbalah, it corresponds to the Hebrew letter Het. And this is the number 8, and it means fence, enclosure, or field. So this letter is all about life force and protection. So on the Tree of Life, the Chariot corresponds to the path of Het, because each major arcana corresponds to a certain path on the Tree of Life. So the paths connect the Sephirot between each other. So the Sephirot, that's the plural of Sephira, they're like states of being, we could say, and the the paths connect these states of being among each other, so you need to go through a certain path to come from one state to another. And in the Hermetic Kabbalah, they established the correspondences between the 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet with the 22 paths on the tree of life. So this is what we use also to symbolically interpret the readings. It can be a very useful addition and clarification. So the chariot corresponds to the path of Het, which connects Bina, the third Sephira, which is about understanding, to Gevura, to the Sephira of severity and strength. So this path is located on the pillar of severity, because the tree of life has 3 pillars. So the pillar of severity, the left hand side of the tree, this is the pillar of discipline and harshness. So this path, the path of Het, which chariot corresponds to, is a path of discipline, willpower and mastery over opposing forces, so that we can channel higher understanding into the righteous strength. And then on the image we see 2 sphinxes. One is black and one is white, which represents duality, so light, dark, mercy, severity, and we need to harness these 2 together. So who is the driver? The charioteer. So basically this is the card of a charioteer, so the one who is driving and aligning these forces, and he is wearing an armor, which is the protection. This reflects Het as a fence, as an enclosure. So you are divinely protected. This is a divine shelter. And then we see the starry canopy above, the stars. This represents Bina, the third Sephira. This is about cosmic understanding and about higher order. So the charioteer's wheel directs the vehicle between opposites, and it embodies, he embodies the control and spiritual discipline. So with Het, that is the letter meaning fence, protection, the charioteer is enclosed in the divine protection. From Bina, that's the third Sephira, he gains understanding and the strength that he channels into the Gevura, into the discipline. So he connects, the charioteer, Bina's understanding and Gevura's discipline. This is how we win in this situation. So in order to come from the Ace of Cups, from the potential of love, to the Ten of Cups, to the fulfilled wishes, you need to imply the discipline of the charioteer. Have a clear understanding, reaching to the stars and bringing them to the disciplined action. So some kind of action is needed in this situation. You need to take the reins into your own hands. And then we come to the Ten of Cups on the Tree of Life. So again, we have the cups suit. This is the element of water. This is the world of Bria in Kabbalah, which is the world of creation, and also the world of archangels. And we have the number 10. So all 10s in tarot correspond to Malkut. So the Sephira number 10, which is the kingdom, the final Sephira. So we have 10 of Cups, Malkut of Bria. So the kingdom of the world of water. This means that we combine manifestation, that is Malkut, so the material earthly world, and the upper energies, the divine energies, which descend and become real. So we are going to use the creative world of water, which is the realm of love, imagination and compassion, ruled by Archangel Gabriel, to create something concrete, to manifest the love and harmony in the material world. And we can see the rainbow in the Ten of Cups, which is the rainbow that comes after the storm. So all these emotional blessings and joy and fulfillment are now being lived in reality. So this is the completion of the Cups journey, from the divine seed, the ace, through will and discipline, we come to the fulfillment in Malkut, in the kingdom of the earthly realm. Also, the Ten of Cups is astrologically Mars in Pisces. So this card is ruled by Mars, which is about action and drive, reflecting the Chariot, but it is in the watery mystical sign of Pisces. So this talks about the driving force of love. So the action is softened and spiritualized. So it's about active devotion and passionate love and striving for unity. And then we have the oracle cards. These two cards together have a very clear message about breaking cycles through conscious action, which confirms the Chariot and the Mars energy. So be bold and make the first move is the Moonology oracle card. So this is all about initiation and leadership and courage, again reflecting the Chariot. So it's time to take action and not wait for others. So you need to step out of passivity or hesitation or overthinking and move toward what you want. This first move can be a conversation, a decision, a new direction, but it is a call to be proactive. Because we have the round and round wisdom of the oracle cards, and this card symbolizes cycles and repeated patterns and spirals of growth. So it can mean that you are stuck in the same loop and you're repeating old lessons and old experiences. But also because since it is a spiral, it means that each time you ascend to a higher level of awareness. So maybe you need to ask yourself, why do I keep repeating the same pattern? Why am I always in the same situation? And maybe what can I do differently this time? So perhaps you are repeating old dynamics, perhaps you're hesitating at the same crossroads, and the way out is shown by the cardinal moon. Take the initiative. So be bold and consciously act. So then this cycle is a spiral of growth. It becomes a spiral of growth instead of endless repetition. First, of course, you have to identify the pattern, as the Horus's eye, the Horus's vision suggested. Have a clear mind, have an understanding, which is also reflected in the Chariot. Driving force from the understanding. So identify the pattern. Where in your life are you looping through the same lessons? And then shift from passive to active. Make a move, make a conscious move. Maybe the move is about walking away from something, but from this card it seems more obvious that you are walking towards something, towards someone perhaps, or accepting an opportunity, or just accepting the joy in your life. Maybe the spiral that you need to break is the spiral of being low, being depressed, not being able to recognize the opportunities or being grateful for them. And also trust the spiral. So even if it feels familiar, even the situation seems like it's the same, you are in fact going on a higher level and you are wiser. So we move from the Ace of Cups, from the divine seed of love and joy, through the path of Het, of the Chariot, connecting understanding and discipline, focused movement and will, toward the full manifestation of harmony and emotional fulfillment in the Ten of Cups on the Malkut, on the earthly realm. So if you feel stuck in some emotional patterns, the Chariot's lesson is activated. Use your will and direct the flow differently. And then the cardinal moon says, don't just drift with these waters, but initiate, choose and act. And thus the endless loop of these cups, that means the loop in emotional cycles, will end and bring the rainbow of 10 into true manifestation. So I hope this reading resonated. I wish you good luck and see you next time. Bye bye.